Yo, what's good, guys? I literally just recorded this video, but I had my game open, so like it was playing loud music, so I gotta do it again. But let's go. Today we're talking about discipline in trading. Remember what I told you, the three key principles to becoming a profitable trader. A proven working strategy that you consistently follow. We've already went over that. Risk management, we went over that. And we're going to talk about discipline. In the next video, we're going to talk about what psychology is, okay? So in trading, discipline is the ability to consistently follow a predetermined trading plan, including risk management rules, strategy execution, and emotional control, regardless of market noise or personal feelings like fear or greed, preventing impulsive decisions and ensuring a systematic approach for long-term consistency. It's about sticking to set rules and using stop losses and position sizing, even when it's difficult to manage risk and achieve goals. Okay? What does it really mean? Discipline is executing the same process regardless of emotions. The difference between a good trader having a bad day and a bad trader breaking rules. Okay? What does that mean? It means we're following the stat system every day. Remember my strategy. That's part of discipline. Me following the same strategy every day means that I'm following a system. The same goes for risk management. It's all systematic approach. Trading is a systematic approach. If it's not systematic, it's not going to work. Key message. Profit is a byproduct of discipline, not effort. Okay? Byproduct. Remember that. I should highlight this. I'm going to highlight this. Not effort. We're going to highlight this in green. Right? Yeah. We'll highlight this in green. We'll highlight this one in red. Bang. Okay. Number 2, having non-negotiable rules. Max trades per day, example 1 to 2. Max daily loss, hard stop, max risk per trade. Okay. Time window you trade, why rules protect your capital and psychology. Remember we went over this in the last video. I only take 1 trade a day. You could take 2. It doesn't work for me. I've tried it. Okay. I'm way too emotional. I have gambling. I do a lot of gambling, or I did. So that, you know, 1 trade is all I need. But you're going to try, and it may be different for you. You know, not everybody's the same. Max daily loss. Okay, so I'm taking 1 trade a day. My max loss is 500 per account per day. That's 1 trade, 500. Okay, max risk per trade. Same thing. I'm risking the same amount every trade, and that's why the systematic approach works. My fixed dollar, 500 again. Every time I'm risking 500, I'm not risking 800 1 trade. I'm not risking 1,000 1 trade. I'm not risking 300 1 trade. I'm risking 500 every time. Time window you trade. I trade only New York session. I was trading at night, but New York session volume, it does not compare to, nothing can compare to New York session volume. That's all I'm going to say. Why rules protect capital and psychology? Because we're going to go over psychology in the next video, but it protects your capital because if I'm taking inconsistent losses, and like let's say I'm risking 500 to make 1,000, then I'm like confident I'm gonna risk 1,000 to make 2,000 just because I'm confident. Okay, what happens if I lose that 1,000? I just set myself back 2 trades. Understand that I set myself back 2 trades because I normally risk 500. Okay. Risk management equals mental stability. Why consistent risk-based Damn, I can't read. Why consistent risk beats confidence-based sizing? Because we just went over that. If I'm risking 500 a trade, and then I go ahead and risk 1,000 and lose, I just set myself back 2 trades. So whatever I made before that, those 2 trades, or let's say I made a 1 to 2 on the last trade, I just lost all my profit from that trade. Or if I lost 500 before that, I set myself back. I'm like, that's all I could pretty much say. You can't be you can't size based on confidence. You have to be consistent. Again, trading is a systematic game. How over risking leads to revenge trading. See, when you over risk, like I said, let's say I risked 1,000. I lost 1,000 after I normally lose 500. Let's say I'm break even for the week because I lost the second trade was 1,000. I made 1,000 the first trade. Old me would get on the market and I'd be like, man, no way I'm break even. Oh, I'm break even right now, bro. I could take another trade. And I'd take another trade and it wouldn't be based on the strategy. It would just be because I want to make money. You should not get in the market expecting to make money. You should get in the market expecting to follow your rules. Find satisfaction. I'm gonna write this down actually. You should. Damn, I can't type. Find satisfaction from following your rules, not making money. Okay? So even when I lose, as long as I follow my rules, I'm happy with myself. Because at the end of the day, I know that if I follow my rules more than I try to chase money, I'm going to be more consistent in the long run. It's proven. Other traders have proved this. And it's literally proven. I don't know how else to say it. But here's an example right here. Most discipline issues are actually risk issues. And that is very true. I built negative habits trading with no rules. So with trading, you want to make good habits. Good habits to follow your rules. Follow a set system every day. When you create negative habits, your brain is just wired to those negative habits. And I'm a prime example, bro. I blew so many accounts because my mind was just so used to not using a stop loss, so used to not taking profits, so used to all the above of what you shouldn't do. Revenge trading, adding more when I was down, bro. Like I've done it all, man. I've traded everything too. I've traded options, forex, and futures. So if you've traded any of those, man, you know, bro. You know how it be when you average down. If you traded options, it's not fun. If you're averaging down trying to chase, but I'm not even gonna go into that. But let's talk about number 4. Following the trade plan even when it feels wrong. So again, taking valid setups after losses. Let's say I take a loss. Me now, I'm taking a loss. Every loss is independent. In my head, I'm like, okay, I took a loss yesterday, but I'm not taking that into account the next day because it's a new day. Remember that. Each day is independent. So if you took a loss yesterday, you shouldn't walk in the market and be like, oh man, I took a loss yesterday, so I have to make money today. Well, then maybe you won't follow your strategy. Maybe you're just going to be chasing money. And again, money is not what you want to find satisfaction in. It's following the rules, okay? Not taking setups that don't meet criteria of the strategy. That's the same thing. Discipline shows up on boring days, not big wins. Prime example, Wednesday. I didn't make money. I broke even. Not ashamed of it. Now, did it go my way after? Yeah. But at the end of the day, I think back in my head, I'm like, old me would have chased that. I look back at my old self and I'm like, dang, I'm glad I didn't do what old me would have done. Because old me is on my shoulder right here telling me, yeah, bro, take another trade. Hold that loss. But new me is like, nah, bro, follow the rules. Follow the rules. That's what's bringing the consistency in. Okay? It ain't about winning big. It's about following your rules, and I'm just trying to plant that in your head. Handling losing streaks. I'll tell you exactly what happened to me. I was terrible at handling losing streaks. I'll give you, so I was trading options 2024, I think it was July, and I was in Miami. And I kid you not, I was like, this is it. I'm gonna be a full-time trader. I thought I was ready. Why? Because I made like I think it was 7K that week. I made 7,000 in a week, my best week ever. I think I was up like 11 for the month. I was like, man, I'm going to turn this into a profession. And guess what? I got home. Miami effect is real because I made $7K in a week in Miami. So when they tell you about that, that's real. But I went home and I lost 3 weeks in a row, Monday through Friday. I'm getting on the market. I'm losing 500 to 1,000 a day. And yeah, I wasn't blowing my port in a day, but I was taking consistent losses over and over because I wasn't following my strategy. I was hopping strategy to strategy because it wasn't working. I'm like, man, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? But it's clear to me now. I was switching up my strategy. I was not using risk management. I was just jumping in stuff pretty much. That's not what you want to do. Follow the system. Why losses are statistically guaranteed? Again, I can show you my P&L and everything. I can show you the chart. My strategy is proven to work. That's why a losing streak won't affect me. It could be a part of the system. Let's say I keep losing. At the end of the day, I know I'm going to win because my strategy is profitable. It's proven to me. So that's what I keep in my head. Knowing the difference between strategy drawdown and emotional tilt. Emotional tilt, strategy drawdown is when like you take a loss on your trade and you know it's planned, a planned loss, and you're following the strategy, everything. So I didn't take a loss this week, but I think it was last week I took a loss on Tuesday. Yeah, on Tuesday. All right, I took a loss. I thought I did everything right? I think I'm following my strategy. It just didn't work out. Sometimes the market just does that. You could do everything right, and the market may not go your way, and you just have to accept that. Okay? Emotional tilt is if I would be like, man, I just took this loss. I'm going to hop in another trade right after. That's revenge trading. That's me being emotional, using my brain and being like, man, I need to make this money back. It's not about the money. It's about the consistency. And I'm trying to drill that into your head. Okay, here's a great quote. You don't evaluate a strategy after one red day. And I used to do that. I used to, all right, the strategy would work for a little bit. And I've hopped from a lot of strategies, though. I think 20 plus. And I'd win, then I'd lose. And I'd be like, no, you know what? Back to YouTube. Let's find another strategy. Because this ain't working. And guess what? Look, all that did was waste time. I'm trying to give you all a shortcut, bro. So let's continue. Controlling emotions, fear, greed, and FOMO. So what is that? Fear. Let's say you're in a trade and you're in profit, okay? Let's say I'm risking 500 to make 1,000 and I'm up 500 and I'm like, man, I don't know if this is going to turn around. I normally take a 1 to 2, so 500 to make 1,000. But I'm like, on this trade, this particular day, I'm like, man, I don't know about this. I think I'm going to just cut it early, right? Okay, let's say I cut it early, I make 500. Okay, I just broke my rules right there because I normally only take minimum 1,000 each trade, 1 to 2. And what could that do? Let's say it went my way after. Okay, I would be like, man, no way I just took this. No way I took it early and it went my way. Now I'm mad. Now the emotions are kicking in. You never want to be emotional in trading. And my emotions just kicked in and I'm like, all right, I'm hopping back in. Guess what? Just broke my rules. I only trade 1 time a day. Now I'm trading 2. And then I take an unnecessary loss. And then you know what? I could continue that. And then what is that right there? That's building a bad habit. And then I may continue to do that the next time. We're not trying to do that, bro. Greed, ignoring targets, over trading. That's over trading. I just explained that. Ignoring targets would be like, let's say I'm up 1,000 on my 500 risk trade. That's my initial target, and that's where I usually start taking profits. What if I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to take anything. And I'm so confident that it's going to go higher. Like, let's say I'm in a buy. I'm so confident it's going to go higher. I'm trying to make 1,500. I'm thinking about the money. And that's where you go wrong, because okay, I could make 15, I could make 500 more, but let's say the trade turns around on me and I take a loss or I close for break even, and I'm thinking to myself after, no way, I had 1,000 in my hands and I just lost it. That's gonna trigger me, trigger my emotions. And again, I went over that. It triggers your emotions. I may overtrade, or I may do something stupid. Okay? FOMO, fear of missing out, chasing entries off your level. Example, right here. Get rid of this. Let's say, remember I took this trade right here. I waited. I was patient. Patient right here. Price came up. I got my entry. But let's say on this first push up above my level, it jumps up, and I'm like, man, dude, I don't want to miss out, bro. I got to get in right now. That's FOMO. Because let's say I got in, and guess what? Ooh, excuse me. It turned around on me. Price turned around on me because I was afraid of missing out when I could have waited for a pullback and got the entry. And then who knows? This might trigger you and you might take this trade and you might win. But guess what? You're building a negative habit. Again, building negative habits ain't going to work in the long run. Practical tools when controlling emotions. I used to do this. I used to try everything, bro. Breathing. I'd be in a trade and I'd be like, slow breathing to make sure that my mind is on point. And then I used to also do this. I used to set an alarm on my phone. I got this from another trader. He set an alarm on my phone. Every 30 minutes, it would say, follow your rules, follow your rules. So every time I look at my phone, I'd be like, oh, I got to follow my rules. Okay? Overtrading and revenge trading, number 7. Why getting it back never works. How one undisciplined trade can erase a green day. Again, we went over that. Getting it back ain't never going to work because it's a systematic game. And the market's going to just eat you up and swallow you and spit you out. And you don't believe me? Try it for yourself. Don't recommend it because I've done it, and I'm sitting here telling you, you don't want to go down that route. Number 8, journaling and accountability. Why journaling improves discipline. What to journal? Did I follow my rules? Was to set a valid emotional state before and after the trade? Screenshot and notes. I'll show you an example of some journals. Let's look right here. 2024, right here, I was journaling. I was trading options. I would write notes on the screen, take a screenshot. Even when I took a loss, I would put in, okay, how much I bought, boom, how much I was up for the day, my account size, why did I take this trade, Johnny Options call out. This is when I was still in this chat, shout out Johnny Options. When hour looked like it, blah, 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 blah. What did I learn? Oh, okay. And then overall, what did I learn? And in this trade, I let my emotions take over, and I was going to the max loss at $30, but I would have been down 70. So again, that's when emotions were really at an all-time high. Around this time, I'm dead serious when I tell you this. But let's go back. Okay? Journaling is huge for beginners. Listen to me. Journal everything that you trade because you're going to learn from it. You need to look back because even when you lose, you're going to learn something. You win, you're going to learn something. So journal, journal, journal. Number 9, building discipline outside the charts. Okay? Sleep, exercise, diet. Sleep is a big one. You can't be drowsy when you get up on the market like me. I wake up 7:30 every morning. Market opens at 8:30 because I'm in Louisiana. So sleep is a big thing. I need to be in bed by time. I need to wake up on time. I can't be drowsy on the market. I have to be full focused. Exercise, the market is why I started working out. It may not look like it, but I was very, very skinny before this. Way skinnier than I am now. Okay? Discipline is done on and off the charts. Diet too, but I have a very fast metabolism. I don't really follow that one. If I'm gonna be honest with you, not gonna lie to you. Keep everything transparent. I don't follow a diet. Routine before market open. I'll go over my routine. Wake up 7:30. Ah, wake up. All right. Now brush my teeth. Then it's time to turn on the computer. And then boom, come 8 o'clock, I'm looking at the chart. I'm waiting for market to open. I'm staying patient. Boom. Then I trade, go to the gym, come home, maybe make a video, maybe do something else, play video games, not even gonna lie. Boom. Consistent trading schedule. That means I'm doing this Monday through Friday. I have to wake up on time in order to trade because I trade around market open. So I have to build a consistent trading schedule. Again, consistency takes you a long way. Your lifestyle affects your trading more than you think, and that is so true. It is so true. Prime example right here. I'm not out partying all the time. I'm not. You know what I could be doing on a Wednesday out here? We have dollar shots. I could go and I can get shots for $1 every Wednesday. But you know what I told myself 2026? I'm not doing that. Not for a while. Because it's going to affect my routine and my consistency. And if we built consistency for so long, why would I want to ruin that? Okay? Let's talk about the last one, last point. Number 10, discipline equals long-term survival. Most traders fail from rule breaking, not bad strategies. Very true. I was failing because I was breaking rules. I was using good strategies. All the 20, 30 strategies I used, some of them were great. Some of them were good. They were proven. Profitable traders use them. But what was I doing wrong? Breaking my rules. Not being disciplined. We went over most of that. Capital preservation is better than daily profits. It doesn't matter if you make money on the day. Again, trading, I told you, is a game about protecting your capital and taking opportunity where the opportunity presents itself. When you're not losing big in the market, you're winning. Okay? The goal is to trade tomorrow, next month, next year. We don't want to have to give up on our dreams, do we? The market rewards consistency, not intensity. That's a huge one. That's a huge thing you want to remember. You want to be consistent and you will get rewarded. It is proven. You will see it for yourself. So at the end of the day, discipline in trading is the third thing that you need in order to be a profitable trader. And you need to know these things. You need to follow the set system, okay? Everything needs to be systematic with your trades. That's basically me summarizing this whole thing. Everything needs to be systematic. I'm going to have these notes in the description. But that's it, man. Ooh, I just hit my mic. But that's it, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow.